Hi, and welcome to the first workshop for the research presentation. So if you're on the research presentation page in Canvas and you scroll down to where you see the slides, that's where you will find all of the instructions for the research presentation workshops that we're doing. Today, we're going to be doing the setup and steps 1 through 4. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at some visual aid tips. We're going to be creating a visual aid today, including selecting a theme. So these tips are going to be very relevant in that sense. So go ahead and click that link, and then you'll be able to see the same handout that I'm looking at. So just a couple of things about text. You want to minimize text. So you don't want more than 5 to 8 lines on any one slide and no more than 5 to 8 words per line. As far as font size, you should never be using below an 18-point font. If you do, then it will be hard to read your slides either on the screencast or from the back of the room. When you're choosing your theme, limit it to one that has 2 to 4 colors. You don't want it to be too busy. It will be distracting. And you don't want to use overly bright backgrounds either, because that can strain your audience's eyes. As far as images go, this is a visual aid, so you should be using lots of images. And when I say lots of images, I mean like images on every slide, but only 1 to 2 images per slide, because you want them to be big enough that the audience can look at them and see detail. Also, if there are too many graphics, it can be distracting. Charts and graphs are another thing that you want to make sure that you are using, because these are more visual than just including text. Like I said, you want to minimize text, but you don't want to use meaningless graphs that are difficult to read, to make sure that they have a purpose. And finally, animation. When you're thinking about including animation or adding animation to your slides, only use it if you're trying to make a point or emphasize something in particular. Otherwise, it just becomes distracting. All right. So those are my visual aid tips for you to keep in mind as you are building your visual aid. So now you should go to your Google Drive and open your research project folder. I have mine open right here. So if you need a minute to get that open, go ahead and pause this video till you have it open and then press play again. All right, so you have your research project folder open. So now you're going to go to the new button in the upper right-hand corner just below Drive. It's a button with a big rainbow plus sign on it, and then it says New. Go ahead and click that, and then you're going to select Google Slides. And you'll go ahead and tell it to create and share. You'll click the Create and Share button. Now we're going to title it with your first initial, last name, space, research presentation. And because you had your research project folder open when you clicked the new button, it will actually put that presentation automatically in that folder. The next thing that you want to do is select a theme for your presentation. So if you look on the right-hand side of your screen, you should see themes, and you should see themes to select from. If you're not seeing that, you can go to the slide menu, and go to change theme, and it'll pop up this sidebar. But looking through here, maybe I don't like any of these. Maybe I want to do something different. Maybe I want to make sure that I have something that's maybe a little bit more unique than these stock templates that everybody's going to choose from. If that's the case, then you're going to open a new tab and you're going to go to Slides Carnival. And when you go to Slides Carnival, you'll notice there are a bunch of different themes here. So you can look at all the templates. You can search by color. There are different styles of templates that you can look at, or you can just search templates. Maybe I want stars. That is not wanting to work for some reason. You can also kind of browse. There are also some trending ones that you can look at. There are a lot of different ways to get to different themes. I'm going to go ahead and sort by color, and I'm going to look at ones that are black. All right, and let's say that I like this one, and I want to use this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it. I'm going to go to Preview and Download, and Use as Google Slides Theme. It will prompt you to make a copy. Once you have a copy of this in your drive, you can use it. You can import the theme into your presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and make a copy. And then I'm going to go to Import Theme. And it will pull up all the presentations I've done lately. I will go ahead and select the one that I chose. And then you click on that and click Import Template. And there, now I have a new theme that wasn't one of the stock themes. All right. So go ahead and pause this video until you have selected your theme. It might take you a while looking through Slides Carnival to get to what you want. Rewind if you need to see how to import that theme again. And then press play again when you're ready to move on. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to be making your title slide. So the first thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go back to your research project folder and open your topic guide. The reason we're doing this is because your title slide, what we're going to use for your title is your research question. So you're going to find where it says research question in all caps, and you're going to copy that. And then we're going to click to add the title, and we're going to paste it without formatting. And there we go. Now I have a title. Now I'm going to add my MLA format heading to the subtitle space. So that is going to be my name, or the student's name rather. And then you're going to use the teacher's name, my name. Then you'll have your class and your block. And then you will have the due date, which for Gold Day classes is May 31st, 2021. For Black Day classes, it's 1 April 2021. Or sorry, not May 1st, 31st, March 31st. So 31 March 2021 for Gold Day and 1 April 2021 for Black Day. Go ahead and pause so you have this step complete. Okay, so step 2 is to add your works slide, to create your works cited slide. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to the slide menu and add a new slide. We want to make sure that the layout is the title and one column layout. And we're going to add the title Works Cited. All right. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to make note of what font is being used in this presentation. So because after I copy and paste these things, I am going to have to change the font back to what it should be. I'm just making note of that. Little mental note. Table. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to my topic guide. You'll notice that in your topic guide on that first page, you have MLA works cited entries for each of your required sources. You need to look at the first word in each of these entries, and you need to paste them in alphabetical order based on that first word. So we have Hoppet with an H, napping with an N, and Zerner with a Z. Alphabetically, the H comes first, so I'm going to take that over first. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to press enter to start a new line. And then I'm going to come back here. And I'm going to get my next one, which alphabetically is napping. I'm going to copy it. Oops. I'm going to paste it and press enter to start a new line. Now I'm going to come back to my topic guide one more time, and I'm going to get the third source. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back to my presentation. I'm going to paste it. And now I have all three of my sources. Now here's the point where I need to make it readable. And I need to make sure that my formatting is staying consistent, that I'm using the same font throughout so that my presentation is neat and cohesive. So I'm going to change the text color to white. Now I can see it all, but I can also see that this font does not look like the other fonts on the other slides. So I'm going to go ahead and change it to Able. Now it looks the same. And now I can go ahead and make it as big as I possibly can. And there I am. My works cited slide is finished. And so you need to make sure that you have a slide that looks like this too. Go ahead and pause until your works cited slide is done, and then press play again when you're ready to move on. We've made it to step 3, which has to do with your thesis statement. So you're going to find your thesis statement on your topic guide. It should be right below your 3 smaller questions that you've color-coded. So mine is right here. Then you are going to create an introduction slide and put the thesis on it. So I'm going to need to copy this thesis, and I'm going to need to go to my presentation and insert a new slide from the slide menu. I'm going to have to apply the title and one column layout to that, and I'm going to have to type introduction for the title. Now I can come here and I can paste without formatting, and it will put my thesis statement on this slide. And I want to leave space to add a image to go along with my introduction. All right, so that covers doing the introduction slide. Now, as far as this thesis goes, you get 5 points for writing a thesis. And if you want all 5 points, then you're going to have to take this thesis that you've been given, and you're going to have to make it your own by tweaking it and adjusting it, putting it into your own words a little bit. It should reflect your writing style if you want to get all 5 of the 5 points that are assigned to the thesis. So you might alter the sentence structure and word choice, but you probably don't want to change the keywords too much. All right. So again, that step is the personalizing your thesis step is optional. You do have to have your thesis on your introduction slide. So go ahead and pause until you're ready to move on, and then press play again when you're ready to move on. All right, that brings us to step 4, flipping your thesis to restate your thesis. So you're going to create a conclusion slide and restate your thesis on it. So the very first thing I need to do is I need to go ahead and add that conclusion slide by going to the slides menu and adding it. I'm going to go ahead and close this theme box too. All right, now I'm going to go conclusion, and I need to restate the thesis. Oops. So this is what I started with, and what I'm suggesting is that you flip your thesis. So I may be going to end with napping has many benefits, and I'm going to try and move this back part to the front. So I am splitting the sentence in half, and I am attempting to reverse the order of ideas. So this makes no sense. If I read it out loud, it makes no sense as a sentence. So I need to start tweaking it so that it does make sense. So what I'm really saying is that the negative effects can be minimized if people follow certain guidelines when they nap. So maybe I want to start with if people follow certain guidelines when they nap. And then I want to use many negative effects again. So maybe I pull that in here and I say the many negative effects can be minimized. So same words, a lot of the same words, different order. And then I have the second idea that napping has many benefits. So I can say, and napping has many benefits. Period. Now it looks different, but it contains all of the same ideas, and that's what you want. Like I said, easiest to flip it. And if once you've completed that step, you've completed all of the steps for the workshop today. Congratulations. We'll see you next time.